Today is a mini fabric haul and some chit-chatting and show you a couple things. Actually just show you a thing that I got while I was in the mountains that I brought home. And pretty much a chit-chatty catch-up video. So if that sounds like something you might want to hang around for, grab your project, grab your drink, and come on with me. Good morning. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and I'm glad you're here. Whether you are just now tuning in to me for the first time or you've been with me for quite a minute. Regardless, I appreciate the time that you have spent with me. For those of you who are, returning viewers, yes, I do appreciate the time that you have spent with me. But regardless, whether you're new, you're used, obviously I need this. It's caffeine. But regardless, thank you for spending some of your time with me today because I do know it's valuable. Everybody's time is valuable no matter what they do. And I really do need that. Now, I'm trying to get everything back in order. Because for those of you who don't know, I just got back from out of town last night. Today's Monday. My video should have already been up, but it's not. Because we just now rolled into town last night. And I wanted to make sure that I had all my ducks in a row. Get the video edited and all that, and it didn't happen. So, late video, not thrown together. I was going to do this video, but it was going to be incorporated in the video of the things that I had taken in the mountains. And even though my sons are both back in town now from work, I was trying to... I'll explain all that in a minute. So, mini fabric haul. So before we left, I had put in an order, and let me tell you. Yeah. This is a little scrap note that they put to my bag because they counted my order as picked up when it had not been. Now, I had some rewards that I needed to use, and I didn't see any fantastic sales on yarn at Michael's, so I was not going to do that. But I did find, I think I found like 4 fabrics that I liked, but 2 jumped out at me the most, and they are polar opposites. I mean, just one end of the spectrum to the other. So I'm going to show you the crazy one first. And I'm not saying crazy because I love some tie-dye. I love tie-dye, and I don't know where that comes from. Actually, I think I do. My mom, she would cut her sleeves and the bottom of her shirts in fringe, and it was even better if it was a tie-dye. But this right here, is that not gorgeous? And when it's a lot more vibrant in person than it was on my little phone screen there. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I think it will make a beautiful bag. Beautiful. I was kind of hesitant. This is one of the ones that when I was trying to use my rewards that I was like, do I want to use my rewards on that? Because I couldn't see it. Yes, I could have went physically to my local Michael's because this is where this came from. Pardon me. But the problem with that is when I was gearing up, trying to get ready, everything with the house, the kitty cats, the greenhouse, Maya was taken care of. I was trying to get all that done before we left so that I would not have to worry. Okay? So there was no time to go pick up that beautiful fabric. But I'm super happy I did. I was so scared that the blues would not be as vibrant in person as they were on my phone screen. And let me tell you, they're just as beautiful. They're gorgeous. I love those rich blues. And I cannot wait. I have some of the darker blue and some of the royal blue. And I might have, I'm looking at a tealy blue that might match that color right there. So that's definitely going to be making in a bag. I can't make it today. I'll explain that a little bit. But yes, I do want to go get cracking. And this is my first morning back at home. And there's mixed feelings, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. Now, this right here is what I was saying was polar opposites of that bag. I mean, it's a future bag, okay? I'm a floral person to a degree. This jumped off the screen on my phone at me. It's got butterflies, it's got dragonflies, roses, what are the ones with the pink one here with that yellow orangey center? Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's not a peony. Oh, I can't think of the name of that flower right now. But anyway, I'm in love with this. Those rich jewel tones to those flowers, and then the butterfly and the dragonfly just pop out of it. I love it. And it is a very rich toned color. It looked like it would be in the picture, but we all know between the screen that you're looking at it on versus the screen that they saw it on versus their camera lighting, it's a thing. So you never are 100% sure. Even with my bags, I try to tell y'all if something's probably going to show a little bit different on the camera. I do try to warn y'all. Alright, now, there are other things over here. They're just going to have to wait for future videos because I don't have my ducks in a row for those. But we ended up bringing 3 of these back. I think I put one of them in the bag because the other one had food on it or something. I don't know. But look at this. We went to a place called Sunliner Diner. It's right there in Pigeon Forge on the Parkway Strip. Oop. And in fact, I'll do that in a minute. But look, it's like a newspaper. And it does. It has, you know, all kind of little things. It has trivia down here. 1950s trivia, 1950s sports. And it says, it's taking you back in time. And it says March 13th, 1958. So what I think they did is actually look back at the headlines on March 13th, 1958, and grabbed it from there, and then turned it into a menu, which I thought was really, really cool. See, like, on this one they have the food and everything, and then they have some more newspaper articles and advertisements. Oops. Hold on. I'm getting there. I thought this was really, really neat. Could y'all imagine, there were 6 of us at the table. And I think the only one that didn't have, well, no, I think my grandson had this one too. Because I think, yeah, they didn't have an individual kids menu. And this one right here is advertisements for the Sunliner Diner. And then here's lunch and dinner menu. And then on the back, it's the kids menu, drinks, milkshakes. Oh, do y'all know I didn't know they had alcohol? Apparently they do. It's just cocktails. Oh, wine and beer. Okay. I did not see all that. But let me tell you, that place was packed. It was, but you know, I really enjoyed it. And it says, but when I look back, when I look at the strip right there, the parkway, it's so much smaller than it was back then. When I first started, oh, by the way, if y'all haven't been able to tell, that was my mini fabric haul. Now moving on to talk about my trip. Oh, I do see the old mill back here. Ha! Hey there. That's the old mill. But the parkway was so much smaller, or it wasn't smaller, it just wasn't as, because now all of this, every inch of it is packed along those two sides, they're one-way roads. All of this is packed and commercialized, and yeah. But it was beautiful back then. And it says, Pigeon Forge became Sevier County's third city Tuesday by the margin of 8 votes. The unofficial tally showed 160 votes in favor of incorporating the area, 152 against. Wow. So that's when Pigeon Forge actually became a noticed or a documented city. Cool beans. And I'm tired and I need more caffeine. Now, I will say what I was talking about earlier. I enjoyed myself. But y'all, my grandson turned 6. And he was the only child. There were 6 of us. It was me, my husband, my son, my daughter-in-law, my grandson, and my other son. So, 5 adults, 1 child. And the whole trip was basically for the baby, for the child. And to keep up the pace for said child, I know me and my husband probably got to take this entire week to recuperate. Actually, my husband will. I don't have time. Because, y'all, as great as it is to be back, now I don't get to have my days. And this is going to sound awful because I did not let my son dictate my days while we were on vacation. But it was a birthday trip, you know. It was like this big birthday party for my grandson. 4 days long. But it was easier because since we were up there for him, it was easier just to say, okay, what's the plan for the day? I only had one thing I wanted to do, and I did do it. And that will have its own video. I just need to try to figure out how to edit and how I need to line that up. But that's this whole separate video. Now, I did record some for y'all. I'm working on my hand knit towel. This is the one for me. But anyway, it was easier for him just to say, for me to say, okay, what's on the agenda for today? And mostly activities were, you know, of course, centered around my grandson. Food was kind of everybody throw a suggestion and see what sticks kind of thing. And usually we didn't get started I apologize, till like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And we didn't leave the cabin because, let me tell you, that cabin is gorgeous. It was beautiful. I can imagine it cost my son a pretty penny. But getting to it was not that easy. Now, it was out in Wears Valley, which is probably about 10, 15 miles outside of, well, where the cabin was about 10 to 15 miles outside of Pigeon Forge proper. That parkway that I was showing you. And it was, let me tell you, it was gorgeous. But the driveway, and this kind of, it messed up mine and my daughter-in-law's plans because, you know, we walk here every morning. And we had planned on doing that in the mountains, and my grandson was looking forward to that. We could not walk up and down the driveway. My son had to put his Subaru in snow mud mode to get up and down that driveway. Now, I will preface that to say, or I will qualify that to say, it was raining. Every time, you know, so with all the rain, it was going to make things, you know, slick and whatnot. But that driveway was atrocious. And me and my daughter-in-law were like, yeah, if we try to walk down that thing, we would have fallen. Even her. I'm pretty sure the baby would. My grandson would have too. I keep saying baby, but he's 6. And of course, since he's my one and only grandson, he's baby. He hates to be called that. Now, what was I saying? Oh, so we didn't get started till, you know, kind of a little bit later because my husband gets a slow start. But this way, it was, the boys had just worked, I want to say a total of 9 12-hour days prior to this. So they were kind of exhausted too. So there was no problem in letting everybody sleep as long as they wanted to, except yours truly. My body doesn't let me sleep. So most mornings I was up by 6 or 6:15 up in the cabin. I was awake all by myself, which I love getting my morning started before the world wakes up, so to speak. But let me tell you, we did not, there was nights to where we didn't get back to the cabin till almost 11. One night we didn't get back till almost midnight. So your girl did not get much sleep up there. And that's okay, you know, I'm home, I will sleep now. I slept hard last night. I don't even think I got up to use the bathroom. And that's, for me, that's saying something because I did make sure I drank some hydrate before I went to sleep because all of that walking and everything and not drinking as much sparkling ice as I normally do. My legs were cramping up there pretty good, and I forgot to take the hydrate with us. Yeah, I'm not kidding. There's several things I forgot. I forgot to even take my curling iron. I only use my curling iron to make this one curl in my hair. But as you'll see in the other in the video that I'm editing now, it's quite flat otherwise, and it's irritating because it doesn't go anywhere but straight down. So, but these are things that I normally, and I think that it's just I was overwhelmed trying to get everything ready that I forgot the basics. I didn't take Q-tips, which is great for after the shower. Yes, I know you're not supposed to put Q-tips in your ears, but I do. I've been doing it all my life. My mom did it before I could do it myself. And I forgot the Q-tips. I forgot the hydrate. I thought I was going to be able to get this in the mountains, and the Walmart closest to us didn't have it. And the other one was probably about twice as far away, and I wasn't going to do that. I I had planned to get it at the one closer to us. That fell through, so I ended up getting some Celsius, which is 200 milligrams. These are only 70 milligrams of caffeine. So I can drink a few of those a day and not... Actually, I think I should only drink maybe 2. Sometimes I drink 3, sometimes I drink 4. Here lately. Just depends on how busy my day has to be. But the Celsius, this is 70 milligrams throughout the day, you know, whenever I drink one. The Celsius is 200 milligrams in a tiny 12-ounce can that hits you all at once. So not as good of a feeling. I don't need one big energy boost and then nothing the rest of the day. But anyway, I may do. Yeah, I may do. And there was one day that I ended up drinking 2 of those puppies because I was just dead on my feet. But keeping up that pace and doing all that walking, it takes a toll on you. But I needed to. Goodness, I needed to do all that walking. I feel like I gained 5 pounds, and I probably did gain 5 pounds while I was up there, because it seems like every time I turned around we were eating. Now granted, I tried to stay smaller portions, and at a couple places I even got off the kids menu, which meant either I didn't get burgers, but that chicken strips or chicken nuggets were in my future, or in my menu. But some of those meals were so huge that there was no way I was going to be able to eat them. And that's when I would ask, can I order off the kids menu? Because, excuse me, the portion sizes are way too big. And that's what frustrates me. I do wish they had... See, the portion sizes are so off in what you should be eating versus what they provide at a restaurant. And it frustrates me because I've always been a small eater. Even when I was at my heaviest, I eat small. Everybody jokes that I eat like a bird. Well, I can't help that I can't eat a lot at one sitting. So I would love it if restaurants, instead of having a lighter side, like less calories, give me a full rich portion of whatever you're serving, but give me like half size options. And it ain't a money thing. It is I can't eat this humongous plate of food thing. And me and my daughter-in-law, we were going to share a couple meals, and we decided not to because we couldn't correlate on what we wanted to be able to share. At one place called Puckett's, my husband and I shared this big platter and still had to bring leftovers home. So it was frustrating. But yes, I probably did gain weight. I know I gained weight. I feel it. And honestly, caffeine isn't the best either. Because it does the, what is that, cortisol and cortisol. So, you know, it is what it is. But getting back home, this is what I was telling y'all. It's kind of, I'm glad to be home. I mean, I had fun, don't get me wrong. It was exhausting, and it was fun, and I loved to get away. But it's definitely at a faster pace. And once we left the cabin, it was definitely at a faster pace. Probably because, you know, this trip was kind of bittersweet because we didn't get to do a lot of the things that we wanted to do because of the rain. We had to choose a lot of indoor activities that upset my grandson in a large part, but Saturday we did end up going to the NASCAR Speed Park, which is a go-kart place. He wanted to do Ober-Gatlinburg again, and he wanted to do NASCAR again, and he wanted to ride ponies. All three were outdoor activities, and he only got to do one of those. He got to do the NASCAR. And we didn't get there till, I want to say, I had video, was, I can't remember the time. It was when we went to Puckett's. So it was after 3 o'clock. It was probably closer to 4. Yeah, because we got to Puckett's. They didn't seat us till about 3:30. So yeah. It was about 4:30 before we ever got to NASCAR. But while we were sitting it had been raining all up until that point. And then while we were sitting at Puckett's eating, the sun came out. And didn't go back in. So they actually opened up NASCAR. And we closed the place down. I think it was it 10 or 11? I think it was 10 o'clock. It's Saturday night. Well, since we had eaten Puckett's, I told everybody, I was like, since we're eating so late, it's too late for a lunch, so let's just make this our big meal, and then we can get something to snack later if anybody's hungry. Well, I didn't know we were going to stay at NASCAR until after 10 o'clock. Because I think we got out of there. They closed at 10, but, he had to do his little tickets and all that. So we probably left there about 10:15, 10:20. And some were hungry, so we ended up, and my thing, and apparently everybody listened, I was like, let's not eat food up here that we can eat at home. I mean, they had Longhorns, they had Outback, they had Wendy's, they had Cookout, they had Shoney's, which we can't get a Shoney's around here anymore. McDonald's, all of those Chick-fil-A's, they had all that, okay? But I was like, if we're going on vacation, and I know some people are the exact opposite. They want to go places that they have comfort foods that they can get at home. Well, me, I'm a little misadventure. So I say, I want to try new foods, new restaurants, and stuff like that. So I was like, let's just grab a burger or something that y'all may want after we leave NASCAR Speedway. So we did. And they chose Cookout, which was almost at the very beginning of the parkway when you're coming from Gatlinburg. And we were almost at the other end at NASCAR Speedway. So I want to say we got there close to 11 and it was packed. Mind you, when the first couple days was nice because there wasn't a whole lot of people and it was raining and, so traffic wasn't horrendous. But come Friday night, Saturday morning, everybody going up for Memorial Day. A happy Memorial Day, everybody. I meant to say that at the beginning of the video, and I'm sorry. My brain had not woke up. But yeah, it was crowded. So the drive-through line was all the way back at the parkway, which if you know, you have to cut through another parking lot to get to Cookout. So it was a very long snake of a line. So we ended up parking and everybody went in but me. No, actually, I don't even think my husband and I didn't go in. Both my sons, my daughter-in-law, and my grandson went in. But anyway, that was the night that we did not get back to the cabin till almost midnight. And my grandson and I fell asleep in the back of the car on the way up the mountain, or back up to where the cabin was. In fact, it was the driveway that woke me up. My son's tires spun on the driveway. Yeah, in all-wheel drive. In the snow mud thing. Setting. So, I'm telling y'all, that thing was steep. But it's nice to be home. It really is. Now, it did storm here while we were gone, and I didn't know that until Saturday, because I had seen my niece, Taylor. Her and her husband had Snapchatted something about there was a storm coming in or something. I can't remember. But I told my daughter-in-law, I was like, oh, we're getting some rain and stuff. So she's like, oh no, because we did have some tomatoes on the vine in our gardens. I did check on them this morning, and they're fine. There should not be any blossom rot on that end, because they are new tomatoes, and they're not quite, I don't think they're far enough along to get it. We will see as they grow. But I did go down there this morning, first thing, and turned off, I apologize, I turned off my timers so that it would not water this morning. And I'm kind of frustrated because we went up to the mountains. It was raining, nasty, icky. And the first day back, nasty, rainy, icky. I'm like, dude, I crave sunshine. Which it was nice. For the most of the trip on the way home, it was icky and, But then when we got, I want to say near Spartanburg, once we got down out of the mountains really good, it cleared up and it was sunshiny all the way home up until this morning. And it's back cloudy and dreary, and it's like, did I leave one? Now it's probably sunshine and beautiful up in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. Oh, I will say, we went to Old Red, which is Blake Shelton's place. It has more of a bar feel than a restaurant feel, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But trying to take a family into a place like that, but we had been walking we'd been walking around Gatlinburg, and we were hungry, and we had said the last time we went that we wanted to try it. I don't want to. I couldn't. They have live music, and it is at a decibel to where you cannot really talk. It's more like a bar. You can't really talk to the people in your group. And my grandson several times was putting his hands over his ears. So, yeah. Side note for Grandma, I'm going to be taking my earplugs with me no matter where we go anymore when we go out of town. Or if I forget them, I will go buy, just the little foam ones that you can form. You can, and then they expand in your ear. Because I wouldn't have minded having some in there myself. Not just my grandson. The food was alright. I ended up having to order off the kids menu, which is chicken tenders and fries. Because everything was so big. And that was me just looking at the tables around me. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to eat all this food. And my husband wanted ribs, which I didn't want. So it's kind of like, well, okay. But it was, I had a kid's menu of chicken tenders and fries. So the tenders weren't all that great. But I think that there's not a whole lot put into that because it's kids' food. You know, they think kids have no palate, I guess. I don't know. My grandson got the hamburger, didn't finish it. Let me tell you, the refrigerator at the cabin was stocked full of leftovers. Whatever I took back to the cabin, I usually ate mid-morning the following day, so that I did not have a lot of leftovers stacked up. But I can say, between my daughter-in-law, my grandson, and my husband, there's a lot of leftovers. A lot of leftovers. I think one of my kitty cats was just crying at my door. But anyway, it was definitely, yeah. It was a good trip. It was. There's highs and lows to everything. It's good to be back. But what I was telling y'all before I got sidetracked and squirrel moment over the rain following us here, y'all should see my greenhouse. Both beds have exploded. I have zucchini that big already. My zucchini were this big when I left. That big. 4 days. 4 days. And I'm going to have to trim down because zucchini leaves are so big. I had planted bell pepper plants, intermittently do them. So what I think I'm going to have to do is go ahead and cut those big leaves off and cut them down so that I can get some sun to my bell pepper plants. Those tomato plants exploded. They are... I'm going to have to restring some because I had them... the spindles on porches, the little 1x1s, I have a lot of spindles in my garden beds, and I staked a lot of my tomato plants to them. Some I'd staked to old fence post that I used to when I had poly wire for my horses. But anyway, I'm going to have to restring them because I did the stringing when they were smaller. And then I did them when they were almost to the top of it. Now I'm going to have to do them to the top of the fence that I have because I have it like a high tunnel or like a dome over top of my greenhouse. I'm going to have to do that. A lot of them I won't have to because they've done shot up through the fencing and they're just out in nature. But I did not expect it to grow that much in 4 days. So I'm going to have to go out here. That's why I said I wouldn't be able to do any sowing and stuff because I'm going to have to go out here and wrangle my greenhouse back in. It's beautiful. Although, let me tell you, I walked into 4 spider webs. Because usually I'm in and out throughout the day down there. Spiders really don't have a chance to get webs unless they go, more in the secluded areas, like in the corners and whatnot. But let me tell you, I was doing the spider dance, or what I call a speeder dance. And I'm doing this right. Carrying on. I have severe arachnophobia. I cannot handle it. And in fact, yesterday, while I was waiting on everybody to wake up at the cabin, I had went outside, and y'all will see it hopefully you'll see it in that video. If I can get that video merged together and put in some semblance of cohesive order, you'll see it. But yesterday was the first day that I had gotten to be able to sit out on that deck that they have. And so I'm sitting there and I'm knitting and, minding my own business. And I see a spider running out of the corner of my eye. And I look down. He had ran from the area of my feet to the other rocking chair. I almost threw my knitting and ran. But I just picked my feet up and started rocking my chair non-stop so that if there was any more, they didn't come running at me. But I think I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Hopefully I will have, there's 2 videos that I have clips filmed. I just have to figure out how to edit them and put them all together. I will ask my son, but I'm trying to do this on my own, y'all. I really am. So it might take a couple weeks. So we may be back from the mountains 2 weeks before I get to get all this done and show you. But so I can't tell you what the next video will be. If it will be yarn, or if it'll be bags, or if it'll be mountain stuff. I don't know. So if you are curious, click subscribe. Come back. That way I can show you what I was into. If not, that's okay. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. But I'm going to get off here and go try to wrangle. Because those zucchinis, I'm not kidding, they were that big. And some of the tomatoes, now we did Amish paste tomatoes, which are like bigger versions of Roma. But they're good for, canning tomatoes. So that's what I really focused on this year. Because the year that we did slicing tomatoes, I noticed that I was canning them more than I was slicing them. And slicing tomatoes are great, but I want canning style tomatoes for our canning, So, and the beans took off. Now, I had planted the beans right before we left, so they were probably about that tall. They're this tall. I mean, they're good 3 to 4 feet. But you don't take much for green beans pole beans to go up. So I'm going to get off here, and I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to wrangle that thing in. Yes, I'm going to get a little wet, but it's okay. I mean, I think it's just drizzling right now, so it might be, regardless, it has to be done. So if I get wet, excuse me, I've been getting wet the last few days anyway, so it's not like it's a big deal. But anyway, I hope your day is wonderful. If you are watching this on Memorial Day, stay safe. Watch out for the idiots, because there's a lot of people that just look for an excuse to drink and party and get stupid with it. My mom would always tell me to be careful, be careful. I'm like, Mom, I'm always careful. She's like, no, I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about the other people. So keep that in mind. Actually, that could be a good thing for life. Just watch out for other people. Because no matter how many times you have everything going great and you're doing the right thing and everything, they can mess it up. So it's up to you to be on your P's and Q's and make sure that, you're watching out for that. And some of it's unavoidable and some of it is. I used to tell my sons when I was teaching them to drive, I said, it's not about how you drive, how good or bad you drive. It's about how bad they drive. So you need to be in a defensive mode so you know how to counteract other people's idiocy. All right? Anyway, I'm going to get off here. I hope you have a great one. I hope you find a little bit of joy and grab a hold of it. And until the next video, take care of you. Bye.